Okay, well, I've got to go home and get ready, and then tomorrow I've got studio again.
I love it
though.
And that's I was saying to my housemates, because they're all on their different paths and whatnot, but I just don't get how you do it. But when it's what you enjoy, it's not an issue. Like you find that extra reserve, and when
I can't do anything else. I literally this is why I'm grinding so much at the moment. But it's so annoying because it's like I can't put anything on Instagram. So
you've got to.
It's all in the locker, like waiting.
But that'll make it so worth it when it comes out, and it's like it's
I hope
what you
it
want
does
it to
well.
be. Yeah, I'm looking forward to hearing.
It's a different sound.
Okay.
I'm excited.
Oh, I'm glad.
We're chatting.
We're chatting too much. Let me start this fucking podcast. Hello and welcome to another episode of the Vinyl Resting Place podcast. I am Dapo Agiri and I'm very pleased to be joined by Freya the Butterfly. What are you saying, Freya?
I'm really good. How are you?
I'm good.
Yeah?
I'm very good. I'm very good. We were talking off camera. We both had big nights. I've just rolled in from Bristol. We've had studio sessions. We've had shows. We've had things on, but we're here in the studio today.
We made it.
We made it.
We've got passion.
Passion, commitment to the
Drive.
cause. Drive. That's what it is. That's what it is. Freya, if you could tell people at home a little bit more about yourself and where you're at the moment in your career.
Yeah, so personally for me at the moment, I'm writing an EP. I got funded by Youth Music this year and it's coming out in 2025. I'm working with one producer, Black Oswald, for this, and a lot of the songs were from like 2019, literally a different decade. Do you know how crazy that is?
Wow, when you put it like that, that's mental.
We've made so many versions of it, and every person I sent it to, I'm like, should I release this? Everyone said yeah, and I was like, and now I'm gonna do it because apparently people love it, but that's a bit
good to hear.
Very personal.
What's the sort of theme? Can you give me any not spoilers, but little hints of where we're going towards?
It is I had a conceptual idea to begin with, and it's kind of evolved into something else. Basically, I used to drink and party quite a lot. I've calmed down a bit now, kind of.
We're getting older, we're growing up. We're maturing.
I've just got a lot of work to do this year. I'm like, I know I cannot be partying as much as I was.
Yeah, but there's only so many hours in the day, and you've got to put the work in. I hear it.
Exactly, and I feel like a lot of the songs and the concept is about having really fun, good nights out, meeting people that you never speak to ever again, and having that limerence feeling, and also just being like a crazy human. Do you know what I mean? Just not giving about anything else. And I put that into all of my music, and I tried to make some of the songs very poetic, lyrical, and not obvious, which was important to me. One of the songs called It's Getting Loud is that one, which obviously is I'm excited to come out.
I'm glad to hear it. Honestly, you can see the excitement on you. Every time you speak about it, you're buzzing.
Honestly.
That's sick. What's your sort of process? Like, how do you get from kind of concept to song being made? Because everyone's got their different ways.
Yeah, I'm a very, very, very emotional girl. So I actually like to dabble. So I'll have a to-do list on my day. So I have a creative to-do list and the boring adult to-do list, right? So they're separated because they do not know. And I will be like, okay, today I'm going to improvise some lyrics over a beat that someone else has made, and then maybe write it down and turn it into poetry, or just flat out improvise the lyrics, and then the concept will grow from there. Or I will produce a beat myself, and then it's really hard when I produce a beat though, because I want to sing straight away. I don't want to fully commit to the beat. So sometimes I'll be like, okay, I'm gonna let myself just sing. But I'm buzzing to sing all the time. I just want to sing. So I'm trying to gain some technical skills in production.
That's so valuable. That's one of the things that I've realised. Like I dabbled in singing from time to time.
You're good at singing. I remember.
I have my moments, but I've learned that having at least like the base level of understanding of the production side, even like DJing, mixing, things like that, just to keep your finger on the pulse when it comes to what you want your tracks to sound like, is super useful. And then like you say, you can produce your own tracks and get to a stage where you're like involved in every part of the process. But
it's also when I always try and ask for criticism or constructive feedback from producers and people I work with, because obviously if you like working with someone, you want to keep working with them. So I'm like, what am I doing wrong? And usually I get learn language in production, so learn the language and how to explain things. And I did that, and now it's gotten to a point in actual like production and writing and composing is now where I'm like, people may be producing for me, and I'm like, oh, okay, I hear like, oh my god, no, I hear something, but I can't quite. Now it's gotten to the point where I can't quite lay down the actual melodies and the music. But yeah, I do like to have more control over my music in my next project, I'd say.
Yeah.
Because me and Ollie, we've worked on this project for Black Oswald. We've worked on this project for even before I got the funding.
So when's the rough timelines for release? When are we looking at?
Yeah, so it got delayed a bit. There was some personal stuff that happened, but then I wrote a song out of that, and it's going on the EP.
Okay.
So this is the thing, it's okay to be behind, because
Of course.
if you're like, okay, I'm really angry about this deadline being put back for this personal reason, you just write into a song. But it's going to be 2025, and I'm really excited because I'm working with a great promoter called Gig Happy, Luke, and he is one of the best promoters I've ever worked with. Like, he pays his musicians well, he's very
Sick.
welcoming, chill.
That's sick.
Yeah, exactly. So I flat out said to him, I went, look, at my last gig, I really want to learn from you, and I would love to put on my own show with my own curated artists. So that's happening in 2025.
Real, I will be there. You should be there. I know it will be sick. I know because I feel like I'm a tastemaker, and I can appreciate good music. Yes.
And there's so many good singers in the London scene.
There is far too many talented people who are just not getting the space that they deserve. And I think it's such a shame. I was having this conversation in Glasgow when we were up on the tour, is that there are so many people who are doing all the right things, but it's really hard to find your space in the social media and the streaming platforms. Like, it is a saturated market.
It always has been, kind of.
Yeah,
but it's now the visual addition to
the marketing. You need to be
break
more
out the noise.
Exactly.
Noise,
and I think as well, what was easier, or not easier, but at least was better in terms of like helping push artists maybe 10, 15, 20 years ago, was like grassroots music was still really, really big. And one thing that I found on this tour is that everywhere we go, everybody who's running events, everybody who's promoters saying nightlife's struggling. Like, we are, it's hard. So promoters and gig venues are closing down.
The Rags original.
Yeah.
He cancelled his tour date for London.
Did he?
And that is, I wanted to bring that up because I think it might have been logistical budget, because musicians are losing money from touring.
Because it's not making the money that they need to.
And he's from London. I don't know if it's like a timing thing, but I'm really shocked he cancelled it.
And he's big as well.
And that album
is unreal.
I listened to the entirety of it on the way in.
It's so
like,
good.
Pay my bills. I love it.
And we had someone come on and do suggest the original Bear Sugar as one of their.
I saw that live. No, I didn't.
Did you?
Wait, no, I didn't. I saw his previous.
The one before.
Wait, I don't know if I'm. I don't know. Actually, I can't give you that.
He's so that surprises me massively. That surprised me.
I'm gutted.
That's such. When was it supposed to be?
Do you know what's funny is I was on my break time at work and. Let's not get. I don't want to talk about work. But I was on my break time. The sun was shining. I checked my calendar and I saw Rags Original next week, 24th of October. And then I finished work and I got the email, and that made me happy. But I understand that from a musician's point of view.
Yeah, of course. But then
he's just so good.
I think it's a shame because someone like that he'll want to put the show on. He's made a project that he's fucking proud of, that he wants to put out there, that people are appreciating, want to share that with people. If there's something wrong with someone like that, can't.
And also, because he produced a few massive major hits for Skepta as well. So, do you know that? Yeah. I've told a few people this, and they're like shocked. And I'm like,
he's the
so
guy.
Luxury sounds.
That is when you said that, I was like, that is the best way to describe it. He creates a luxury sound.
But that is what his tagline, you know.
Yeah.
And I went to a festival and I was at the front last year across the tracks. I was all wasted, and he was like singing, and no one else was singing apart from me, and I was just like, I'm a fangirling. Do you know what? I never used to be a fan of just a fan in general, but I'm the biggest fan of everything at the moment.
I think it's a good way to be. It's a good way to be, because I feel like, especially when you're pushing in a creative space, like, you want people to be showing love to your shit.
Yeah.
So it pays to show that out and put off that kind of mentality, positivity, you know, it goes a long way.
I just think it's something you earn, so like you learn. But like with rags, like I was just full on singing at the front, and everyone in the crowd, like no one was singing along, and it was really upsetting me. I imagine I'm drunk and I'm like ah! But yeah, you're right. I feel like sometimes it's really hard when you scroll through social media, and what I've learned is not everyone can be a star at the same time, but you should also let people shine when you're not shining.
Yeah, let people have their moment.
But it took me such a long time to learn that, because I felt like, you know, you can't compare yourself to people who don't have the same support systems as yourself. And because I'm not from London, and I think I moved here quite a long, about 10 years ago now, and I studied music at uni, and then I moved to East London, and I was like, right, I'm gonna network the shit out of my life.
To spin it back to the idea of being like a fan and like like giving people their moment,
but it's not easy to do that.
What was the shift for you? Like when did you start to be able to appreciate, like, okay, other people, this is their time, my time is coming, it's not my race, that sort of thing?
I think I when I listen to my own music in my bedroom, I know that my shit is good. Like I'm not gonna sit here and compare it to other people when they haven't got what I've got, and I've not got what they've got, and we should both be like, you know, comfortable with that. But I think the shift happened is when I really, because I do delve into the music industry and discographies and artists from the past. I do this daily, and I recognize that when someone new pops into the scene, you know, some icon will jump on a song with them. For example, so random, but Katy Perry, she's obviously an icon. And Doechii, I can't say
Doechii, I saw they've got a song, they did a VMA performance. I saw that.
And she's been signed to TDE. So like everyone, you know, Katy Perry had a time off. She's had a time off. Now people, you know, there's a timeline to shine.
No, definitely. And I think it's a good way to be, especially when you're like on your journey as an artist, because you know that, okay, keep doing the things that I'm doing it the right way, my time will come, work with the right people. Your network is your network. Like, put yourself in the position to have your time and your moment, but if it's not now, that's okay. Like,
no, it's okay. And when it isn't your time, that's not how I see it. When it isn't my time, generally, I'm writing, I'm still doing it, but I think I'm very eager. I'm so eager and impatient. Like that's the negative part about me, is like I just want my music out now, and I want the visuals out now. Because every day I have a new idea for something, and when you're an independent musician and you know you don't have a lot of backing, but I'm lucky because I had backing from youth music, so I'm so grateful for that, and it makes me even more inspired.
No, definitely. And I think having like a bit of a network and a support system goes such a long way. It goes such a long way.
But they had an award dinner last week, award events for nominees. Obviously, I couldn't nominate myself because I've only got awarded the funding this year. And I left at 9:30. I literally didn't even. I was so inspired. I was like, I just want to go home and write, and I went home in a row. And smoked a spliff.
Nice.
And I don't know.
Nice. I love that. I love that. So, obviously, you've come through with your Vinyl Resting Place album. Can you let us know what you've chosen and a little bit about why you chose it?
I have chosen the best album ever, Frank by Amy Winehouse.
You're not gonna, you might not like what I'm gonna say next, but I don't think it is her best album ever.
There's a reason. Do you want to know? Do you want to hear my story?
Yeah, go on.
So when I was 18, I came to London to visit a friend who previously lived in my hometown. And he gave me the vinyl of Frank, but he never had the Frank for, is it Back to Black?
Yeah.
And he played it. And she released that when she was 18. And it was the first time I heard it when I was 18, because this Frank album did not go mainstream like Back to Black, right? So...
That's a really good...
But yeah, I haven't finished it. I've got more to say.
Oh, talk to me.
So basically, Back to Black, I feel like she wrote that for the industry, and that is, I can sense when musicians kind of write for the industry, and I'm not saying the music is in any way bad. I know every single song on this album. This one is so good.
It's so good.
But Frank, for me, from beginning to end, the jazz influences, Dinah Washington. So she's heavily influenced by Dinah Washington, apologies. and Tony Bennett. And that Frank album for me, from start to finish, I found so relatable because I was 18 at the time, and I have my own mental health issues. I'm neurodivergent, and obviously back in those days, I don't think Amy really got diagnosed, and I relate to Amy in the way that I used drugs, drinking, any type of coping mechanism to kind of mask and hide how I was. So when I do go to these events and stuff, or maybe I'll go on stage, I'll have a couple of drinks just to kind of hopefully not look weird. But that's why I relate to it, because I was so young at the time that I was like, okay, I'm coming to London, like this is, you know, big time.
Yeah, for sure. It was like a like pivotal moment within your own life, and I love that. This is kind of why I started the podcast and do this, is because I feel like so many of us, if we're artists, if we're creatives, if we're just people like going about their daily life, have these moments where an album or a project just like encapsulates where you are at that point in time, and like
and it was like the age thing as well.
Yeah, of course. But it's so relevant, and I think it's a compelling argument. Like I can't go against that. It's
going to be subjective.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, subjective. Yeah,
it's always going to be subjective when it comes to music. But I just think Frank. So you know, I like the era in general anyway. So 2003, 2004, the era for music videos, slay.
Yes. Yeah.
Slay
Yeah.
And she did a few covers. So I heard "Love Is Blind" is a cover, I believe a jazz standard. And also, What Is It About Men? Come on. But yeah, I don't know. This album for me is just so cohesive that, and I struggle to listen to Amy Winehouse these days. I just I don't really remember her passing away. I feel like I was young at the time.
Same.
But it's still like, I don't know, I feel so deeply about her passing and how she got treated, and I'm hoping that other women who since her, you know, haven't been treated the same way and haven't had to stay quiet about what they're going through, you know, because it's different now.
Being kind of almost pushed down, like rather than be able to speak your truth and actually work through what you're going through, it was very much a male dominated industry that wasn't allowing women to have a voice, really.
Isn't it?
What's your favourite song of the album, would you say?
What, Frank?
Yeah.
So I love the way she sings There Is No Greater Love, which is a cover, but that's a cover, so can't choose that one. I'm gonna do
so it's like it's hard to do.
I'm gonna just go with What Is It About Men?
Okay.
Because she had no fear, even though like we live in a patriarchy. She had absolutely no fear. She was just like, you know, my dad really upset me, or this man really upset me. Like, why am I so disappointed all the time? She had strength to do that, which I'm still finding the courage to actually be that honest in my music. So, and she was 18.
Yeah, when you contextualize it, it is insane. Bar it being such a beautifully constructed album, like musically it is so stunning to listen to. I work in like near King's Cross, and like, our office is kind of like it's like ninth story, and you can kind of look out like over into London. I was listening to this, like working at my desk, looking out, and I was like, this is just like such a London album. Like it gave me like proper chills, I guess is the only word that I could think about it. But like,
yeah, because my family are from London, but my family then moved down to Plymouth. So I have family in London, so I'd always be coming to East London. It's actually really weird because my family who live in East Ham, I now live in East Ham, and that's where I always would visit. So I'd always be in London, and the second I turned 18, I came to London. I think I just turned 18, and I was like, I just can't.
I need to move. Fair play. And never looked back in terms of moving out of London. Is it home now?
I like quiet and serenity, but obviously music. If I was to put myself first, I would have to get rich and then buy a log cabin in the middle of nowhere and build a studio and then commute to London for shows, you know.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, that's a dream.
That's the future.
That's goals.
That's there.
It will happen.
It's on its way. It's on its way for sure.
It's like Georgia O'Keeffe. She's a painter, and she just for the summer she just went to her little cabin by the lake and painted. And
that's serenity is the word. I need some of that peace in my life. I feel like I'm spending this is the first time in my life actually I feel as though I may not live in London forever. Like, I'm from South
Everyone's
London,
saying that.
but like the world, not even just the world, like even in the UK, like there are just calmer, nicer places to be.
Yeah.
And I think as I'm getting older, I'm appreciating and I want peace a lot more than I ever have. Like London is fun. London is potentially the best city in the world, right? But it's so non-stop. It's you're just going and going and going and going, and I just like, do you know what?
Get it. Like for me, I've always been like really sensitive to sounds. So basically, I'm neurodivergent. I'm so sensitive to every sound. Like I feel vibrations in my feet. Like it's actually crazy. And I used to really struggle recording in studios because I was so used to playing live that I feel like the vibrations from everything, the drums and everything in my feet.
Oh shit!
And then now I'm really good at being in the studio because I like trained myself, but not so much on stage.
So it's kind of it's flipped the other way.
Yeah, exactly.
In terms of your performance and your style, and I know you said with the new project, it might be something that people haven't heard from you before, and it's a different lane. But like, where do you take your influences from? Where do you take your kind of inspiration from?
I'd say like my soul and my pain. I'm trying to work on actually using more, I don't know how to explain this, but when I listen to rappers or some singers, they're very descriptive about the moments that they're living. Whereas I find this EP is more of about, I wish I could word this better. It's more poetic, but not as descriptive in real life.
Okay, so it's a bit more like
okay, so It's Getting Loud is called It's Getting Loud, and like not once do I use the word weed, but there are always signals to what I'm singing to. So
okay, like colourful language, like it's
literally colourful because one of the lyrics is I think the blue is making me green. No, I got that wrong.
The green is making me blue.
Yeah,
cool. Yeah, that's a bar. I like it.
And then there's like the bridge bit where it goes, "It's getting loud," and then it gets louder and louder, and it literally gets loud. So yeah,
I'm here for it. I'm very much here for it, and I think it's interesting. I think lyricism is sometimes lost in the kind of like.
I've been told that I write like a rapper and that I should calm down on it.
But why? Do you know what I mean? Sorry.
Because I think at the time when I was learning, I was hanging around with this guy and like I literally he messaged me the other day actually, and he went, can you send me It's Getting Loud? I need the WAV file right now on WhatsApp. I need inspiration. No other music is doing it for me. And he was like, there's so many like wheel-up moments in the song, and I was just like, oh my god. But anyways, he's like really helped me throughout. But he gave me a lot of advice. He said, you know, you write like a rapper and it's not a bad thing, but you don't need to. And I agreed. To be fair, I'm trying to have bigger choruses. It's not my strongest point. I'm not actually trying to have big choruses.
Because you're just writing.
But now it is a goal of mine. I'm motivated to... I'm getting more into pop music. Pop is back.
Yeah, but
and pop is better.
Pop is back.
And it's so good now, guys.
Yeah, do you know what? I've been fighting it for
a
long time. And it was probably about this summer that I was decided to get. I was like, do you know what? Let's just give it. I'll listen to a bit of Sabrina Carpenter.
I knew you were going to say that. But you know, it's like the new Marilyn Monroe. She's got this, but again, she's got this massive budget. She's been on Disney Channel. And they're just like, you know,
she's been fed through the system. Yes. Like this was what she was destined for. Like from 13 years old, they were pushing her in this sort of direction. But do you know what? The music's good. Like the music really is not that bad at all.
I think she writes her lyrics as well.
Yeah, you got Chapel Road.
Yeah,
pop is. Yeah. So the Brixton show, Chapel Road, I didn't go. I probably would have gone and should have gone. Looked fucking feral. It looked insane.
She is feral.
It looked insane. I was like, do you know what? If you can get people losing their minds at Brixton Academy, like. More power to you. Because people don't dance anymore. People don't like throw themselves.
I do dance.
Yeah, and this is what it should be like. Nights out, gigs.
But you're right. No one does dance anymore.
No one dances anymore. No one dances anymore, and it's such a shame.
Yeah.
And it all stems back to what we say about like nightlife, like slowly kind of not just like not dying. That's too hyperbolic, but it's decreasing. The spaces for it are decreasing.
It literally is, and
people are just a bit too stiff and not willing to spend their time, money, energy on like fun things. Like,
yeah, I think I feel like there's a reason. We've all been, through generations, we've all been. How do I describe this? So, it started with building flats instead of venues.
Yeah.
So they closed the venues down, and then generationally. I can't say that. You say it for me.
Generationally.
Now, like Gen Z, we don't really drink that much, but we still go out.
Yeah,
and I don't know what else they take, but it's like drinking, so that then doesn't fund the artists or the venues.
It's not money through the bar; it's just ticket sales, and it's not financially viable, really, which is again a shame. I feel like we've got a pretty good gauge of these things. Maybe we should look at like Art Council UK and try and fix this problem for them. But I think it's something that there will always be your Chapel Roans, there'll always be your Sabrina Carpenters. There's gonna be the next big pop star of the moment, and I think maybe part of me getting back into pop and at least being a bit more open-minded and appreciative to it is like respecting the hustle and the work that it takes to get there. Like,
it's hard work.
It's not an easy thing, and like you can say what you want about the integrity of the music, blah 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 blah, but like to get to that stage, it's and maintain it as well. Like it's tough. Like people are fickle, people are harsh. You're working constantly, you're flying here, there and everywhere. You need to be this version of yourself that everybody wants you to be, that everybody's kind of painted you out to be, without any kind of like request or desire for yourself. So I think pop is back, and shout out to the new pop queens, because I feel they're taking it on. You're taking a bit more pop style in your music
in my production. So I think the reason why is because I'm not the greatest producer ever, but I know how to get a feeling into a song. So I think, who was it? Was it Pharrell Williams who said, you can't copy a song, but you can try and copy the feeling of a song. And I think that's what my aim is. I love Frank Ocean. I love shoegaze. I love old R&B. I love the synths and the spacey, elongated reverb pads. That's my production style. That I don't know if it's pop necessarily, because once you add lyrics onto it, it's probably not going to be pop anymore. But I want to make easy listening stuff. I want to make harmonies that are just like, oh my god, it doesn't need anything more. These harmonies are fire, you know what I mean?
So, I don't know if I'll keep this in, but when I used to do musical theatre, we used to call those like, those ones that just like hit your brain. We used to call them ball ticklers.
Oh my god!
Which is a horrible saying.
What, like the perfect
harmony? Because you just feel it.
Do you? I wouldn't know.
I can't. Anytime someone says like the perfect harmony, and I know exactly what you mean.
I hate that for you.
It's exactly. It's all. My brain goes there. I can't. I'm like, oh god, gonna have to explain this now.
Belle Cobain at the moment.
Yeah.
I was speaking to Ollie about the what's actually in the EP and how the lyrics are going to run. I feel like Belle Cobain is like kind of my vibe. Like it'll be like the lyricism and the vibe is quite moody, which I love.
I love that. I saw Belle Cobain at We Out Here this year.
Did you?
She was sick. She's so
amazing.
cold. She's super talented, and I hadn't really like delved into her. I had listened to maybe 2 or 3 tracks before, but then her live set, and that's one thing I love about going to live music is like seeing how people stand up on stage, like the performance. There's being a recording artist and there's being a performer, and I think she has stage presence for days.
She didn't even want to be a singer. She wanted to be. Yeah, I watched an interview and she wanted to. She is a poet, right? But she was like, I just wanted to add it to music, and then that's kind of how it happened. And this is why, like, it's effortless. I don't think my goal is to be effortless. Like, to be honest with you, like, I like the fact that I work hard for what I'm doing. Do you know what I mean? That's
an interesting take. I like that. Yeah. No, fairs. Yeah.
Like, I have a vision of who I want to be in my life and what I want to do, and the vision, I guess after this EP, I'm already thinking about the next one.
But that's the way. It's the way
Yeah.
you've got to be, because I think you can't just sort of do something and sit on your wins, and you should always take stock of them and appreciate what you've done. But like, the work's not finished. The next thing does have to come.
I love it though.
Yeah, that's good. I'm glad.
I do love it. Yeah.
You also had a recommendation that could have been your Vinyl Resting Place album, but was not, and I do want to talk about it, and I want to hear your take on it, because I think you gave a really good description of Frank, but you also want to talk about Rags Original, and I love this project, so let the people know.
It's making me smile.
Sweet Nothings.
Bare Sugar, Sweet Nothings.
Oh.
Okay, ask me away.
So, why is this an album that could have been? Like, what does it mean to you? Why is it something that resonates with you?
I feel like I wanted to pick an album, like my favourite album of 2024. And this one, I have not stopped listening to it. It's on repeat. I just go to that album, I listen. I don't even think I've given myself enough time to actually put the songs individually on my playlist. I just listen to the album. So I am literally paying his bills at the moment. Like, I'm not even joking. And yeah, so basically with Rex, he has a lot of backing singers. In every single song, it's always a call and response, and that is like something I really want to do on a project with someone. I want to make like an EP, which is, you know, this style of sound.
Yeah, that'd be sick, and it works really well. It's something that I feel when I first listened to it makes the album like stand out. That call and response, it's like, okay, I can recognize what I'm listening to. Like, it's something that is like, it's from basic doing like hymns and shit in primary school. Like, it's something that is easy for someone. It's accessible is the word I'm looking for. But then it's done in such a way that is so like classy. Like, it's done in a well produced.
It's classy, yet the lyrics are not. If you read them on paper, you would be like, go to church. But when you hear it, you're like, I'm in heaven.
Yeah. It's what's the word? I have a word for this. It's dichotomy.
That's a good word.
The dichotomy of man. It is the angel and the devil on your shoulder at the same time. It's just such a good listen. Like, above everything, I really like. And I love listening to albums all the way through. Like, I've moved away from being a playlist person, and that's like part of why this is an album-based podcast.
Yeah.
And I bring people bring me albums, so I'm constantly listening to albums, and I like it as a format. Like, it's nice to put it as a body of work. Like, how does this sound all together? Does it make sense all together? And I think Bare Sugar, the original, the first album, and Sweet Nothings, both of them as like a project to listen to, make so much sense. I think it's really difficult sometimes, especially when it's just kind of like a more of like a mixtape and not like a thematic or a concept album, to get a theme out.
He's so good at concepts.
It's so sick. It's so sick. And I'm glad you brought it on. I think it's I think it's interesting. This is the second or third time someone's potentially brought a Rags album, and I think he's building and is about ready to take over the fucking world.
I hope so.
I
literally hope so, because I need more albums. I need more music.
Yeah.
I need more merch. I need to annoy him again with my singing. The way he looked at me was not good. Who is this drunk white girl at the front here?
I'm sure he was feeling it. I'm sure he was.
I think he was happy.
Yeah. I feel like if you've got somebody who's really loving your music, front row of your show, you can't help but smile. I
loved it. I was like, let's just sing. Let's do it.
Speaking of singing, I asked a question about karaoke, and you gave me a take that I found quite interesting. So I just wanted to maybe deviate from the platform a little bit. But you're kind of under the impression that you don't really do karaoke. You're not a big fan of it, and
well, I do. I like karaoke. I like watching people try to do karaoke, but I don't really. I don't feel like, I don't know how to say this, but it's not really like a culture thing for me.
Yeah.
Like, I don't really feel like I've ever had friends that have been like, oh, let's do some karaoke. Like, only maybe when I was a teenager, but I just I don't really do it.
Because I find it quite awkward, because I never know when to like try or not try. Do you know what I mean? Like,
oh my god,
this is a
thing. Yeah, I think that's why it puts me off doing karaoke, because if you're with someone who knows that sings, and then I don't know what it is, but people just don't like singers doing karaoke.
Yeah, exactly. So it's
and I'm just like, I was chill there.
Am I supposed to try and make it bad, or like am I supposed to?
I'm not getting paid.
Exactly. Am I performing for you? Like what's going on here?
I can't remember my song. Do you remember?
I
think it was Halo.
Halo,
yeah.
which is to be fair, which is a great karaoke song.
I used to sing that. I was really good at that.
It's for the key change.
I actually there's a video. My mum's friend's got a video of me singing that when I was about maybe like 10 years old, and I could sing it. I don't want to hear it. It might be really bad.
I want to see that. That's definitely what I want to see.
But that's why I picked it, because
yeah. No, I've done Halo. To be fair, Love on Top. That
I can't sing that.
I can't. Oh, I give it. That's the song I could do, because I know I can't sing it well enough.
I had to sing that for an assessment at uni.
Jeez.
I'm not even joking.
That song is brutal to sing. But banger. Bang up. I'm gonna have to listen to that.
Yeah, I'm going to. And me, do you like Me, Myself and I as well?
Oh, what a beat! Oh yeah. Oh. This is nice, because I've been giving Beyonce a lot of undue hate recently. I don't like the new albums.
I don't listen. Do you know what's funny? Beyonce claims that like music should be thought about as albums and not singles, like as conceptual albums.
Yeah.
She said it in an interview. But I've never once listened to an entire, actually only one. I think it was a self-titled album, Beyonce.
Yeah.
That's the only one I listened to the whole way through. But there are like about 5 songs from each album that I love.
Yeah,
you know.
fair.
Yeah.
That's so fair. It's just, but it's nice to speak about her in a positive way, because she does have bangers. She does have bangers.
So what people saying?
But my thing is, right, with the like country album, with the Renaissance, like, it all felt a little bit too manufactured.
But it is manufactured for sure.
Yeah.
But where's she from again? Dallas.
Houston, I think.
Yeah.
So like she
it's still a homegrown.
Yeah.
But I know what you mean, because so that from that point, you know, Drake released a house album.
Yeah.
Beyonce released a house album.
Yeah.
Whenever there is a recession of any kind, everyone's releasing dance music. I love those albums though.
It just doesn't do it for me. It just
really?
And I think the difficulty is, it's not necessarily one, what I want from Beyonce. 2, what I like, especially the country one, is not what
I haven't listened to it.
It's just.
But I don't like country music.
Exactly. So I'm not the target audience.
No.
But I had also had like issues with the kind of claiming shit, like, so.
Claiming, like winning awards for country.
Yeah, and like.
Yeah, but she's trying to get Grammys and everything.
Yeah,
which is fair enough.
I mean, when you've got so many Grammys, what else are you going to look for?
Go?
Where do you go?
That's where you go. She's smart.
It's so true.
Well, whoever's thinking of these things.
Oh yeah, that's the thing, and maybe that's where I'm not so driven. Is that if I got to that stage, I just kick my feet up and chill.
That's why I'm not mad, because I always think about if I could like even participate in a Grammy of any kind. Because I supported actually no, I ended up headlining because she had to go to another gig. But I think 2 weeks ago I played a gig, and the girl that was supposed to headline, she won a Grammy for best folk song.
Really?
Something like that, yeah.
Mad.
So, and then it's like, where do you go?
Well, yeah.
And I was like, okay, so we're on the same lineup.
That's so it's within reach. Do you know, like that's so dope. You can see the progression, and like, and these are the things that I think are.
It's like Blue Lab Beats. Is it Blue Lab?
Yeah, Blue Lab. Yeah.
When I went to, I think, Silhouette's project at Jazz Cafe, and we bumped into them outside, and they just announced that they got nominated for a Grammy, and I went up to him and I was like, oh my god, sing like you got nominated. So honestly,
imagine that. Like,
I know. I think they won. I think they won it.
That's mental. They're cold, to be fair. I'm a big fan of Blue Lab Beats.
They've been around forever.
Yeah, but that's you can feel it in the music they're putting out now that they're seasoned.
I think it was production on a track.
I mean, it's a second thing. Yeah, Grammy. They won a Grammy.
Did they win it?
Did they win?
I know they
Yeah,
were
they did.
nominated.
For a production. That's so mental. This has been really fun. I hope you've enjoyed.
I have. It's been really fun.
It's been really nice, and like this is kind of all it was going to be, just a chat and a catch up as well. I hope you at home enjoyed listening to it. We've enjoyed recording.
I've had a great
time.
time.
I've had a great time. Time has absolutely
Yapping.
flown by.
Literally.
We've been flying. I'm gonna really enjoy editing this one as well, because I'm just be like, oh shit, yeah, we did talk about that
Oh my
as
God.
well. Yeah,
We were just talking about everything.
reeling shit off. But no, a really nice episode. Thank you so much for joining me, Freya. You can catch Freya's socials on all our posts. We'll point you in the right direction. When can people see you? Well, are there going to be shows and things coming up with the EP?
EP is 2025, very early 2025, and I'm putting on my own show in March.
Peace. Yeah.